so today I'm doing another first impressions for you guys, and again, this is going to be a skincare one. It is the morning, so I just worked out and showered, so good morning. And I am going to be doing a first impressions today on this Skin Lab Glacial Clay Facial Mask. So this should be very interesting, and I'm doing this more for those of you guys who have oily skin types, because I know all of us have different skin types, so I just want to try out a different product for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get my hair up and out of my face. Okay, now I've zoomed in a little bit so you guys can get a better idea of what my skin looks like. I just washed my face. So this is what the packaging looks like. It comes with a spatula, of course, and inside it has the clay. It smells kind of tea tree-y, and I can see it has chunks of something in it. It's got the typical green type of clay mask color to it. As always, I did a little bit of research, so I wanted to kind of figure out what kind of ingredients are unique to this product. So it has, I'm looking down at my notes here, that's Canadian glacial clay, which is good for removing excess sebum, dirt, oil, that kind of thing, and it also is good for acne and calming the skin since it has a cooling effect to it. It also has oatmeal, which must have been the kind of chunks I was seeing in this clay, which is good for dead skin. It softens the skin as well, and it helps hydrate and nourish the skin. And it has tea tree leaf in it, which we all know tea tree oil, which is obviously what I was smelling as well. It helps with acne prevention and care, as well as calms the skin down. So let's go ahead and apply this onto my skin. Ooh, it's already nice and cold feeling. It feels so nice and refreshing. So I applied that fairly liberally because I wanted to cover my skin and really encase my face in this clay mask. So I'm going to go rinse my hands and I will be right back. Okay, so now we're supposed to let this sit on our skin for 10 to 15 minutes, and while it's sitting on my skin, it feels a little bit like it's tightening and pulling all of the oil and dirt out of my skin. It does have a bit of a, I wouldn't describe it as like a stinging, burning sensation, but it does have a little bit of a sensation similar to that. That's the best I can describe it as. It does have a little bit of that sensation, which I'm assuming is just it working, because I can particularly feel it around my nose and the center of my face, where I have issues with sometimes like little sebum on my nose or some like blackheads or whiteheads or whatever. So that's kind of where I feel it the most. Now, since I have this clay mask on my face, I'm going to take this opportunity really quick to tell you guys specifically how to use clay mask. Now, I know a lot of you guys actually will apply a clay mask and let it dry completely on your skin. You're actually not supposed to do that. So when this hits about the 10-minute mark, I'm going to check and see how dry this is. Because at first, what clay masks do when you apply them to your skin is your skin starts absorbing all the minerals from the clay and all the good stuff. And then as it sits on your skin for a couple more minutes and a little bit longer, what it does is it starts pulling out the impurities and the oil and the dirt and all that stuff that you kind of want to pull out of your skin, especially if you have oily or acne prone skin. Now, the reason why you want to remove it before it completely dries on your skin is because when it hits that point where you can start to see it crack and dry, that's actually when it's starting to pull out your natural oil and oil that you should have in your skin. And that might be why after using a clay mask you find that your skin feels really tight or irritated or itchy. So if you are doing that, please do not do that. Just be sure to wash it off. When it starts to dry and it still feels slightly damp to the touch, then you can wash it off, and of course I will show you that when the time comes. So yeah, so I'm going to let this sit on my skin for a couple more minutes, and I will come back and tell you guys kind of how it's going. So I'll see you guys soon. So it's been about 5 minutes that I've had this mask on, and I can say that the sensation is starting to become a little bit more apparent. Like, I can definitely feel it more in my forehead now, kind of like that. I hate to say stinging / burning sensation because it's really not that bad. It's just the closest thing that I can relate the sensation to. But yeah, so I can start to feel it tightening on my skin. It still has a little bit of a cool sensation to it, not so much, like I said, it more has the sensation of it tightening and it pulling out impurities. So I will check in with you guys at the 10-minute mark, and we will wash it off then. Okay, so this needs to come off my face like immediately because I didn't apply an even enough layer, and my chin is now a little too dry for my liking, but the rest of my face is still pretty damp. So I'm going to go wash this off and we will go over how my skin feels and what I think of this mask. So I will be right back. Okay, so now that I've washed that off my skin, I can already tell that my skin feels very glowy and it looks a lot healthier. And one thing that I can say about this mask is my face feels really hydrated considering I just used a clay mask on dry skin. So I'm really impressed by how smooth and nice my skin feels. And like I said, my skin actually feels very moisturized to the touch. So I'm really glad that I could find a clay type of product that will pull out the impurities from my skin. Because of course, even though I have dry skin, I still want to remove any excess dirt or oil or, you know, anything makeup that's sitting in my pores that really shouldn't be. And what I really consider clay masks are a deep cleansing type of product. So I'm really glad that I could find one that finally wouldn't dry out my skin and make my skin feel super tight afterward. Now with clay masks, and even with this one, I would probably use this about 1 to 2 times a month, only because I have dry skin and I don't have a major issue with enlarged pores or anything like that. So this would be just kind of a once in a while type of treatment to help purify my pores when I feel like they're getting kind of clogged and, you know, they're just getting full of junk. For those of you guys who have oily or acne prone skin or combination skin even, I would recommend using this once a week. I was reading up that the company actually recommends using it to 2 to 3 times a week. I think that's just a little excessive even for oily skin. So stick to 1 time a week. You don't want to overly dry your skin out or just be too harsh with it. So I would definitely recommend this for those of you guys who might have acne prone skin, who have oily skin. And this is seriously so hydrating and my skin feels really smooth and actually very calm. Like it feels like my skin feels very nourished. So I actually really like this. I've been hitting a lot of really good first impressions of skincare lately, so I'm really excited to show you guys this because if you're not using a clay mask, you should definitely if you have oily or acne prone skin. So yeah. Also, I want to point out that clay masks are good if you have any type of like body acne, like if you have any acne on your chest or maybe like back knee. So this would be a good thing to try out if you're having issues with that. So I just wanted to throw that kind of like little tidbit in there. Anyways guys, I hope that was helpful for those of you guys who might have been in the market for a clay mask or just looking for a purifying type of product in general. And I hope you guys are all happy and healthy. And as always, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!